15 years, I guess. The things break.
Adds up.
Yep.
You keep new ones in the ground, they don't.
Mr. Donald Jones, he's certainly been expressing concern over the Catholic Avenue water issues. I know we had at one point McCrone go back and revise what was a 2011 proposal to do a replacement on that water line. Ronnie, I think I emailed you maybe a week or so ago and had asked if there was, as we've been working with the MDE, and they've been good. Certainly, I think there was one point in the conversation, we had even discussed if there was any money left over from this project that could be diverted to Catholic Avenue. Anything to report on, or any avenues that we should be looking at to go down to look at replacing the water main on Catholic Avenue?
If you're waiting to see if there's any money left out of this project, I would say we'll never know, we won't know that till we get to the end of it, and it's not due to the end, I think, till
June.
But I think we all know that Catholic Avenue isn't anything that we're not aware of. It's just a matter of when you decide you want to do it.
Any input from the council on Catholic Avenue?
Well, I think this, if we can, when the new budget time comes around, we'll see how things are working out with the sewer charges that we made an increase on last year. And hopefully, may be able to balance things out a little bit more. When we get into a new budget, we may see possibilities that we can discuss at that time.
Brian?
I agree.
Pete?
Agree with that?
All right, Ron, so I guess if Mr. Jones contacts the town, if you can let him know that the board is going to.
Address it in the next budget.
All right, any other business for the utilities board? Yes.
Sort of as the unofficial volunteer leak detector in Rock Hall, I just want to applaud the service that the guys have provided at all hours of the day to turn off maybe more than 50 meters in town. It's been an amazing.
It's been something we've never had that much of. Of course, this has been really cold weather, but
I
she's
mean,
not
it's
exaggerating. We've probably
For them
had,
to turn the water off by feel with these meters submerged underwater is just an amazing feat to me.
a lot of broken pipes in that.
Yep, a lot of households
It
have
happens when we live in a swamp.
experienced it.
I live underwater, actually, my meter's under 20 foot.
Which fun,
I'm looking to start selling water back to the town, too.
Any other questions for the utilities board? Motion?
I make a motion that we adjourn the utility board meeting.
We have a motion by Butch to adjourn the utilities board meeting. Do we have a second? Second. Do we have a second by Brian? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Meeting adjourned at 8:05 p.m. And we'll go ahead and just move right on into the workshop meeting. March 2nd, 2015. This is the workshop meeting of the mayor and council. Let the record reflect that the full mayor and council are present, with the exception of council member Francis, town manager, town attorney, and clerk treasurer is in attendance. And if we could begin with the approval of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda for the workshop meeting for March 2nd, 2015 as presented.
We have a motion by Heath. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a second by Brian. The only thing I wanted to add to the agenda was the MFCA, just to have a further discussion as to the permitted uses of the entities that are looking to go into the building.
Have you heard from them?
No, I was going to follow up with Ronnie, but I also wanted to, in turn.
I haven't heard, you haven't heard, I don't know, Ryan, you heard anything?
No.
I think that alone.
So, no,
Not till we hear from them.
Yeah, but the MFCA was going to, I guess, Ron, you and the MFCA were going to get.
I just left them a message that if the call was, it was obviously their court, their place. If anything we can do, we're here. And I left it like that.
Okay, all right, so,
I think we'll hear something by next meeting.
all right.
Trish, let's get in contact with you.
Well, okay, I've not heard from her, but I know that last week left it, Ron was going to speak.
Yeah, and but from what I understand, it's supposed to get a hold of you directly.
Okay, all right.
You'll be the first one to know when something comes up.
All right. So then, if there's no other items to approve, then all in favor? Or aye?
All right.
All right. Next will be the meeting minutes from February 2nd, 2015.
Make a motion to approve the workshop minutes from February 2nd, 2015 as presented.
All right, we have a motion by Beek. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a second by Butch to approve the February 2nd, 2015 meeting minutes. Any additions or corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
By opposed? Minutes carry. Next is Ethics Commission. Ron, you should put this on here.
No, I don't think.
No, Mr. Warren's in.
I had made a request to
Okay.
take a couple minutes of your time.
Please.
Can I come up?
Yes?
I don't want to shot at. I want to take this and hand this out. This is something that I know you're expecting from the board. Is to make room for us in the next budget. And I'm going to leave these copies here in the middle so you can disperse them. Okay? But I'd like to ask that you look at it, review it, and make considerations for it
For the upcoming budget.
for the upcoming budget.
Very good.
Okay? One of the, we just wanted to let you know we're taking this seriously if you would want to take it. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Warren.
Next will be museums. Brian, I assume you had this put on the agenda.
Yes. Do we have any museum officers here?
Yes, I've been elected to attend. I think everybody knows who I am. I'm one of the co-chairman of the museum. Put together a little package for you all, so you can follow along. If you don't mind, I'll sit down here. I'm sure you'll still be able to hear me. I need to spread mine out. And then I know you have some questions, or I've been told there's questions. Yeah, Warren, come on up. Warren is also here. Warren's an associate member, and he's had a lot to do with the Clam House project, so he'll be here to help answer some questions. Before you ask your questions, the board's kind of put together a little package here to kind of update you on what's going on with the museum. And maybe by the time I'm done, that will have answered some of your questions that you may have. The top cover is just a little outline. I'm sorry I don't have one for everybody. We just finished putting this together at 6 o'clock, and it's quite a bit of material here to copy. This is just a little outline on top. Following everything is in order from the outline. The first is just a list of the committee members, the co-chairs, secretary, treasurer, and the members that we currently have. Followed behind that is a copy of the bylaws, which we were told were adopted sometime back in Mr. Dannenberg's time, and we found these when we were going through a briefcase that Mr. Dannenberg had left, and it was in the storage unit over at the Civic Center. So when we switched spots with the food pantry, we found a lot of stuff, and these bylaws were in there. So you can look at those some other time. I may refer back to some of those in a few minutes. I'll try to go through this as quick as I can, because I know everybody doesn't want to be here all night. The next thing is a copy of a post in the paper, Dan DeVillio. It says where the two towns museum will combine under one roof at the Clam House. It was reported on. Flipping through that, there was approval by the board, by you all, 5-0, for us to proceed with looking into to see how we can make that happen. Flipping through a few pages, there's another article that came out where questions were raised about the museum board. The town attorney had made a comment in the paper that there were some hurdles that can be avoided as a reason for the action. He asked the council members if they had knowledge of a third-party involvement. We're still trying to figure out who that third-party involvement is. Maybe before we leave here, he can enlighten us and let us know who he thinks that may be. And also it stated if the museum board intervened, it's inappropriate. So we're still trying to figure out that one as well. The museum board is the one that came up with this idea, so there was no reason why we would want to intervene and try to do away with it. Also in that same part of that package, on one of the pages, when we had put the website up, the citizen had suggested taking the website down and tell the council went over it with its content. The museum board is curious on, has the council had a chance to look at that website? And if so, is there any problems with it and why we can't continue with it and have it posted? Next part of the package are just some minutes. And the point of these minutes, on the first page in old business, we talked about a 501c3, and Robin had asked to check on price with Mr. Wooten on the museum website. This just goes to show and point out that way back in 2012, we were even considering a website then. Second page of that was a monthly report to the Rock Hall Mayor and Council down in the finances. It says that we received a cash donation and pledge of $300 by the Greater Rock Hall Business Association for a new website construction. So there is another documentation that we were planning on doing a website that we felt that you all were familiar with. The last part of that same report under projects, this is we are working on our own website and domain name. Behind all that is just documentation of money and donations that we've received. $300 here, anonymous donation for some. You have to bear with me a little bit because I just had a chance to look through some of this package about 6:15. So we have received enough donations to pay for our own website. The next package is just a copy of Tolchester Beach Revisited Museum. The fact that we'd had a board meeting on January the 18th. During that meeting, the museums was submitted a draft minutes. Let's see, talking about Tolchester Revisited, the inventory attached that Mr. Betts and I had worked on when he was with us. I think the mayor and Susan were present at that meeting. No other council members were present at that. And attached to that is just a copy of the Tolchester Revisited agreement that we finally went with Mr. Betts. After that, there's a series of emails where the agreement was received from the Maryland Food Authority Center, and Susan had forwarded that to Chip for his review. That's that email, and also copies of that lease agreement that was submitted to him for review. After that, there's a series of emails, and the purpose of these emails is pretty much to show that the museum board did not intervene through any of this. If you start in the back and work your way forward, hi Chip, we asked to reach out to you regarding the license agreement, Rock Hall Museum. Do you know where we stand? That was from Angela Schmidt. Chip had gotten back to her and said, my colleague Patrick Thomas, who assists town in Rock Hall matters, will be handling the review. And then it just went back and forth. And I think the last email is just basically inquiring, Angela, please keep me posted, and that was from Patrick. Another email that got thrown in here was boat donations. There was a point in time when we had questioned whether we could receive funds for boat donations, whether we had to be a 501 or not. There was an email that I had sent to Patrick. He had gotten back to me, and he explained the whole exempt thing where he basically had stated that we did not have to be a 501c3, that the donations could be given to the town, and the town would respond to them with a letter thanking them for their donation, and that would suffice as their donation. The packet after that is a projected budget for the new museum going down to the Clam House. This was the same projections that was presented to the mayor and council by Warren and Scratch. This is the same project that we were given the go-ahead to go with, 5-0 vote by you all to proceed with this under 3 conditions. And we are still working on those conditions. The anonymous donation of $5,000 is not going to happen by those people unless they know for sure we're going to go down to the Clam House. So we have not received them yet. On that projection is also listed the website. So here again, the website has come up with a budget of $600. The museum board contacted Mr. Wooten, and he had quoted us a design and production of $475, which we had taken that to be under the $500 limit. In the bylaws, it says that the museum board could spend up to $500 without the approval of the mayor and council, so we were going on based on the bylaws of the museum. CBIA has also donated the first year's hosting basic value of $350. So we're under the $500, cost us $475, and he's going to donate the first year of $350 to the museum, and that's good because we can use that $350 donation to use for other things, other grants or something that are matching things that we need to go for. So that's a copy of that. And then the last thing was apparently Robin had put this together back and forth with website designs. There was an email here between her and Cora. Cora had said, furthermore, if the museum board votes to have a separate website with what money, I am not sure. There is no purpose for you to be on the focus group. Robin had responded and said, thank you, but I would like to remain on the focus group. Another point that she would like to bring out that when the RFP was done for the website, that Robin had put a request in to allow herself and me to come see the RFP, since we were at that time been involved in having ourselves listed on the website, and we were denied access to be able to see that RFP. That's that part. The last page is where during this process Robin had checked into us getting either Amazon Smile or a PayPal account. She had asked Stephanie and Susan about that. Stephanie had gotten back in a nice timely fashion, saying that that would be something that the mayor and council would have to give us approval on. And the purpose of that PayPal account was to be able to have on our website so people could donate directly to us through just similar as if you go down to St. Michael's Museum, you can go on their website and you can actually donate to them. So that's kind of a lot in a nutshell. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. All the board is not here, so on our board we have a lot of people that have different talents. Some on construction, some on websites, and various things. So, and not all of them could be here tonight. So some of those questions I may not be able to answer for you, but if you give them to me, I will seek your answers out and get back to them at your next meeting.
And some of them on laptops, you've got that one.
Some of them on laptops.
On laptops, yep, they won't come up here to a meeting. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Ms. Krowski to be exact.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think there's members here.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, everybody
She's
can.
the chair, she ought to be here.
Yeah, well, she's a co-chair.
Yeah, well, she should be the chair then, she's not gonna come up here, she's been asked twice to be here.
I do kind of find it disturbing that she would send an email saying she doesn't want to be here because of all the town drama.
Right, and she creates most of it.
I mean,
Let's
that's
just
our
keep-
chairperson.
But let's just keep on track of what the
Let's
questions
not keep
are.
on track, she starts most of this, the BS that goes on in this town comes from you, Doug, and Robin Krowski. And it's negative, 24/7 negativity. Okay?
Look,
Complete negativity.
We're here to
Okay,
We're here to answer
insubordination,
questions about the
insubordination, when we ordered you, hold on, when we ordered you to take that web off because of language, that's insubordination. Number two, okay, Ms. Krowski on the Maryland Food Center Authority, okay, Dave, correct me if I'm wrong. I said, we're gonna build the tracks, and then we're gonna put the train on the tracks. Is that correct at the last meeting? I thought the word responsible was the word. Responsibility, we're gonna move forward responsible, correct or not?
let's just.
No, I'm gonna get this back. You just hold on, I got the floor. Okay,
Lisa, just go,
And she-
I'll back some.
she comes out and she goes ahead and puts Don Darnell, okay, she puts Rosie Harrell, she puts Amy Mordock, she puts Sandy Adams, and she puts Rick Myers in the same conversation. After I had said more than once at the last meeting, the elected officials will go ahead and respond and take care of anything that comes from the Maryland Food Authority. I don't know what Ms. Krowski on that didn't understand, okay? But if she doesn't, she needs to be removed. And if you agree with her, you need to be removed also.
Well, that's
That's where
entirely
I'm
up
at.
to you. That's entirely up to you whether you
Well, that's
remove us or
fine.
not. I mean,
I mean,
we're
you
volunteering.
clearly went under, we went ahead and pointed you in the direction that we told, and it was insubordination clearly from the last meeting to this meeting, period. There's not any denial that it was insubordination of the council's direction, right or wrong.
How is it insubordination? You gave us a 5-0 vote to move forward with the project.
No, okay.
And we've done that to the best of our ability
You
until
did
we
not,
ran
well,
into a
that's the
stumbling
ability.
block.
I'm not even going
We
to
ran
get
into
that
a
story.
stumbling block on issues of zoning
Stumbling
and
block?
planning and zoning, which we can't do anything about. That's
Okay,
your
well,
job to do
exactly, I
something about.
understand that. Well, why does Ms. Karowski come out as the chair and say that, and add those 5 people in the conversation where she should back and hear it either from the mayor or myself, which we directed them at the last meeting to do?
Don't you